Hello everyone, wishing you all good health and peace in life. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are born not from wealth, but from love, friendship, and the strength of helping hands. Completed a super beautiful bamboo house frame in just one day, thanks to the help of a kind friend. What might have taken weeks was built in a single day, because hearts worked together. Friendship and love are in harmony. Dee and a good friend build a warm home for Huyen. Each piece of bamboo carries laughter, each knot tied with care holds a promise. This is not just the frame of a house, it is the beginning of a home, built by kindness, for love, and with hope for brighter days ahead. The morning sun rose gently over the quiet village, spreading a golden light across the fields. Birds sang in the bamboo groves, and the sound of hammers echoed softly in the distance. On that very day, something extraordinary was happening. A simple dream was taking shape, rising from the earth in the form of a new home. Dee stood in the middle of the yard, his hands rough but steady, his heart filled with determination. Beside him was his good friend, a man who had traveled from afar just to lend a hand. With laughter and sweat, they measured the bamboo poles, cut and tied them carefully, and lifted the frame with strength born from both effort and friendship. The air smelled of fresh bamboo, newly split and bound, and the sound of chiseling blended with the hum of the wind. Huyen, quietly watching from a distance, felt her heart tremble. She saw in every movement not just the building of a house, but the silent promise of love and care. Nearby, little Maya played with pebbles and flowers, her innocent laughter floating through the air like a blessing. By midday, the frame of the bamboo house stood proudly against the sky, strong and graceful. It seemed almost unbelievable what normally would take many days was completed in only one. Thanks to the kindness and skill of a true friend, sweat trickled down their faces, but their smiles were brighter than the sun above. When the work was done, Huyen prepared a simple meal. The three of them sat together on the porch, sharing rice, fish, and vegetables. Though humble, the meal tasted sweeter than any feast, for it was seasoned with gratitude, friendship, and love. The good friend praised Huyen's cooking, admired Maya's innocence, and smiled at Dee's quiet determination. That evening, as the golden light of sunset wrapped around the bamboo frame, it no longer looked like just a house, it was a symbol of endurance, of kindness, and of new beginnings. Dee and his friend had not only built walls and a roof, they had built a shelter of warmth and hope for Huyen and Maya. In the harmony of friendship and love, a home was born. As the sun leaned westward, the frame of the bamboo house stood tall and proud, glowing under the soft golden light. It was not just a frame of wood and rope, but a symbol of determination, love, and the kindness that blossoms when hearts meet in sincerity. After a long day of hard work, sweat dripped from Dee's forehead, but his eyes were full of quiet joy. His friend clapped him on the shoulder and laughed warmly. "Look at that, brother. In one day, you already have the bones of a new home." Dee nodded with gratitude, words failing him. Sometimes silence speaks louder than speech, and in his silence lived thankfulness too deep to measure. Inside the half-open yard, Huyen was preparing a simple meal. Her hands moved gently, slicing vegetables, washing rice, lighting the fire. She often looked up at the bamboo frame, her heart trembling. Each pole of bamboo seemed to whisper hope, each knot tied by steady hands a promise of protection. Maya skipped around barefoot, chasing the dog, humming a tune without words. Her laughter floated into the evening like little bells. turning the unfinished house into a space already alive with warmth. When the food was ready, the three adults and the little girl sat together on a mat spread over the earth. The dishes were simple steamed rice, boiled greens, and a pot of soup, but in that moment, it felt like a feast. They ate with laughter, exchanged stories, and for the first time in many long, weary years, Huyen felt she was not merely surviving but beginning again. That night, as the crickets sang and the wind rustled the bamboo leaves, Huyen looked at the rising frame of their new house and whispered softly in her heart, "This is not just a house. This is the place where love will grow, where Maya will sleep peacefully, and where every tomorrow begins with hope." And though tomorrow would bring more work, more struggles, and perhaps more storms, tonight there was only gratitude, togetherness, and the quiet certainty that kindness and love could build more than walls. They could build a life. The next morning, the sound of a rooster crowing woke them early. Mist still lay thick across the valley, wrapping the hills like a soft blanket. Dee rose first, as always. His back ached, but he ignored it. With quiet footsteps, he gathered his tools and went outside. Every swing of his hammer, every knot he tied, carried the weight of his silent vow to give Huyen and Maya more than just shelter. He wanted them to have safety, dignity, and a place where laughter could bloom without fear. Huyen joined him shortly after, carrying a steaming bowl of porridge. "You must eat something first," she said softly. Her eyes, tired yet full of gentleness, lingered on him. Dee smiled faintly, accepting the bowl, though his mind was already on the beams and rafters that still needed to be set. Maya, still rubbing sleep from her eyes, ran to Dee and tugged at his sleeve. "Uncle Dee, when the house is finished, can I paint flowers on the wall?" she asked, her voice bubbling with innocence. Dee bent down and patted her head, his eyes soft. "Yes, little one, you can paint all the flowers you want. This house is yours as much as it is your mother's." The days went by like that, hammering, sawing, cooking, sharing. Neighbors, touched by their effort, began to stop by. Some brought bundles of thatch for the roof. Others carried bamboo poles or helped tie the beams. The spirit of community wrapped around them, and what had started as Dee's lonely labor became a shared dream. One evening, after the roof was nearly finished, Huyen stood at the doorway of the half-complete house. The golden light of the setting sun spilled across her face, and tears welled in her eyes. She whispered to herself, "This is no longer the darkness of the past. This is a home, our home." Dee, watching from a distance, said nothing. His heart spoke in silence. He knew he did not need recognition or words of gratitude. The sight of Huyen's eyes shining with hope, and Maya's laughter echoing among the bamboo walls was all the reward he could ever want. And so, night after night, under the starlit sky, the new home rose not just from bamboo and rope, but from sacrifice, resilience, and the quiet power of love. The next morning, the sound of birdsong echoed through the trees, mixing with the soft rustle of bamboo leaves swaying in the breeze. The newly raised frame stood tall and proud in the middle of the yard, glowing golden under the morning sun. Though unfinished, it already carried the shape of a true home, a promise of peace and belonging. Dee woke early, his hands still aching from the hard work of the day before, but his heart was full of quiet happiness. He walked around the frame, checking each joint and beam, running his calloused fingers across the smooth bamboo poles. Every knot tied, every nail hammered reminded him of the bond he shared with his friend, and the reason he worked tirelessly, Huyen and little Maya. When Huyen stepped out of the small temporary shelter, carrying a basket of freshly washed clothes, she paused and gazed at the house frame. Her eyes softened, filling with tears. She whispered almost to herself, "It already feels like home." Maya, clutching her little doll, skipped beside her, pointing at the tall beams and asking if she could have her sleeping corner near the window. Later that day, Dee's friend returned, bringing a few more tools and his cheerful spirit. "We'll put up the roof today," he said with a smile. The two men climbed the frame, tying strips of dried bamboo and palm leaves together. Their laughter and steady teamwork turned heavy labor into a rhythm of companionship. Huyen, sitting in the shade, wove extra mats and thatch panels, occasionally looking up with pride at the men's progress. By late afternoon, the house looked nearly complete, its walls woven, its roof layered, and its doorway open to the setting sun. Though modest, it radiated warmth and dignity, as if the bamboo itself carried the heartbeat of those who built it. That evening, under the glow of a kerosene lamp, the three adults and little Maya shared another humble meal. The sound of cicadas filled the night, blending with Maya's cheerful chatter. Dee's friend raised a cup of tea, smiling gently. "This is not just a house, it's the beginning of something beautiful, a place where love will grow." Dee glanced at Huyen, who met his eyes with a soft smile. For a moment, no words were needed. The bamboo walls around them seemed to hold their silence, their gratitude, and their quiet dreams for tomorrow. In life, true strength is not found in wealth or possessions, but in the kindness we give and the love we share. The story of a simple bamboo house being built in just one day is more than a tale of labor. It is a testament to friendship, unity, and sacrifice. A home is not defined by its walls or roof. It is defined by the hearts that build it and the warmth that fills it. Dee's quiet dedication and his friends' helping hands remind us that no one truly walks alone. When hearts come together with sincerity, even the hardest tasks become light, and what seems impossible becomes possible. The laughter of Maya, the smiles of Huyen, and the sweat of Dee's friend woven into the bamboo frame created more than a shelter, it created a sanctuary of love. From this, we learn that every act of kindness carries weight. A single gesture of help can change someone's life, and love expressed through actions speaks louder than 1,000 promises. True happiness is not about having everything, but about building something meaningful together, step by step, day by day. This is the lesson we should carry with us, in friendship, in love, and in family. The simplest bonds, like bamboo tied firmly together, can withstand life's strongest storms.